This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25. Thanks for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It is Thursday, June 9th.
Well, police say that a local man is facing child abuse charges after a baby arrived at Desert View Hospital with him with a broken leg. Doctors think that this might not have been the first time.
A local man is under arrest for child abuse, according to Nye County Sheriff's Office. Joshua Snyder was taken into custody late last May after he reportedly took a 3-month-old infant to Desert View Hospital. The child was determined to have a broken femur and was transferred to Summerlin Hospital in Las Vegas, where it was confirmed to be an acute angulated displaced left femoral diaphyseal fracture. Upon further examination, there was an additional healing fracture in the same area. This prompted a call to Nye County Sheriff's and Snyder's subsequent arrest. Snyder is currently facing one charge of child abuse with substantial bodily harm.
And the nomination period is extended for this year's Governor's Point of Light Awards. And here is newlywed Shannon Aramura and Elena Arms to tell us all about it.
The Points of Light Awards is the state's highest honor that is bestowed by the governor for exemplary service and volunteerism. So we have 9 different categories that people or organizations can be nominated for. Those are individual youth, which is anyone under 18, community leadership, which is like your faith-based organizations, your Moose, Elks, Lions, things like that. Somebody who works together as a group to improve our community. Also volunteer managers. So if we have an exemplary volunteer manager, we want to make sure those people get recognized for their hard work, as well as nonprofit organizations, their volunteer programs, and then our corporate volunteer programs as well. So there's a little bit of everything there for people who serve. We do have a lifetime achievement category, which is somebody who has served in the state of Nevada for over 20 years, as well as we just added our veterans and military category, which is awesome because it seeks to recognize someone who is a veteran or an active military member who is serving in the community and doing volunteer work while serving. So that there's 9 categories, and they can find all of those with all of the information for those on our website at nevadavolunteers.org. This is our 20th celebration, so 20 years of recognizing our exemplary people and organizations throughout the state of Nevada who give so much of their time and talent. And so we're really excited to have this anniversary year, and we're going to be inviting back some previous award winners to help share in the excitement of our 20th anniversary. So you do have to fill out the online nomination form. If somebody needs help with that, they can definitely give me a call. My number is 775-910-3329, and we can try to help them with accommodations for that.
I'm actually a judge chair, which I work directly with the judges. We're looking for as many judges as possible to help with the nominations, the volunteer job nominations. So I'm on the other side. Yeah. So yes, we're looking for as many volunteer nominations as possible, but as well as many judges as possible in all walks of life, all throughout the state. NevadaVolunteers.org.
Well, if you love chili and barbecue, and Unette does, Linda Wright tells us about an event happening this Saturday that promises to be lots of fun and very yummy.
Heritage Bible Church is having their very first annual community chili cook-off and barbecue. Yeah. This coming Saturday, June 11th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At 3061 Heritage Drive in Pahrump. You just show up at 11 o'clock, bring your famous chili that you make, and sign up. The barbecue, the church is providing the barbecue. It'll be hamburgers and hot dogs. And if you want to have a side with that, you're more than welcome to bring a side. and we'll accept whatever you want to bring. There is no charge to the community for this. It's free. This is just for Heritage Bible to meet the community and the community to meet us, because there's more and more people moving into Pahrump, and we want to show Pahrump who we are. You can bring the whole family and check us out. There's no entry fee for the chili cook-off, and we hope to be able to bring you this next year too. Contact me at Linda Wright at 775-419-7857.
All right, so looking forward to that delicious sounding event. And speaking of having fun, the kids are finally out of school, and that means a lot of parents will be taking their little ones to the pool this summer to go swimming. But before they jump in, here are some safety tips to keep in mind.
Always make sure that your children, if they are young swimmers and early swimmers, have an adult in arm's length by them in the pool. If they are good swimmers and or are older swimmers and don't need that kind of help, they still need to have one designated person watching them at all given times. We need to make sure that if a submersion or a drowning happens and there is a terrible accident, then there is somebody who can start CPR right away. CPR at site has shown to be, over the years, proved scientifically to have a much better outcome when these kids come to the emergency department than kids who did not receive CPR at site or good, adequate CPR.
And Dr. Grover also says don't forget to take frequent breaks while swimming too. She says every 30 minutes or so, it's a good idea. And it's also important to stay well hydrated and wear lots and lots of sunscreen. We'll be right back with much more local news you can use after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Well, we had a really fun barbecue recently with the crew here at KPVM. It's finally time for summer, which means we're ready to bring out the grill and start hosting barbecues. In today's Ask Angie segment, Bailey Carson walks us through how to prepare your homes and yards for barbecue season.
At a backyard barbecue, the grill is the star of the show. So if you've got a new one, consider bringing in a handyman to make sure that it's set up properly so that you're ready for that special occasion. Also, get all those supplies you need on hand, the tongs, the meat thermometer, the propane tank. And finally, if you have an outdoor kitchen, think about any last-minute quick touch-ups that you can do. So might be things like installing a fan, making sure that your countertops are in great shape, and making any other small repairs that might be needed before the season is upon us. You'll want to have your yard in great shape before hosting any barbecues. Make sure that your lawn is well manicured and cut. Also take a look around for any potential pests, ant piles, or other signs that bugs could be around. This is especially important if you have children or pets attending. Also, if you don't have the time, tools, or talent to take care of your own yard, consider bringing in a local company like a landscaping firm to help do the work for you. Don't forget about comfortable seating in your backyard. I recommend spreading out the seating to give your guests different options. For example, put a big table with lots of chairs in a shaded patio. Or also sprinkle around some different seating groups in your yard. If you don't have a covered patio, you might want to consider adding some temporary shade, like an umbrella. This will help keep you comfortable on even those hot days.
And in today's educational news, we are highlighting a group of students who are meeting and exceeding the challenges of learning about classics and complex literature. Most students have a difficult time, but these are exceeding and excelling.
So, this has the added benefit of concealing identities, yes? What could possibly go wrong?
Teacher Ralph Pesce engages high schoolers to really dig in and think about classical literature. Reading the classics is part of the integrated humanities curriculum at Bishop Matchbuff High School in Denver, a school serving many economically challenged and ethnically diverse students.
And studying the history, studying the literature, and the reason we do that is because We really want to see an integrated formation and understanding of how society has developed over time.
And palm to palm.
But when the effort to change over first came up 4 years ago, Assistant Principal Harold Siegel admits it was risky because not everyone was sold on the idea.
There were, I think, two groups of naysayers. One were the ones that wanted a traditional AP curriculum, so that they wanted to be working towards, teaching towards a test. The other were people that said, this is too difficult, all right? This is not what my student is used to, my son or daughter is used to. It's far too challenging, it's far too difficult.
Ready to stand to smooth that rough touch.
Sean McGarity, a senior, along with his mother, are both believers now in the curriculum upgrade.
I remember in elementary school trying to get Sean to read poetry. Sean played football. Football players don't read poetry, Mom, right?
Then move not while my prayers effect I take.
This year, he became a lover of poetry and a lover of Shakespeare.
Elizabeth Gallegos, a senior, credits the curriculum for helping her win a 4-year scholarship to the university of her choice.
Definitely helped as I was writing these applications, not just for the scholarship, but to a lot of the schools I was applying to.
A school that challenges and academically elevates students no matter what socioeconomic background they come from.
Whether it's literature, whether it's history, whether it's politics, whether it's just social sciences, we want them to be able to articulate and ponder things. Classical education does that.
Kim Martinez reporting.
Thanks so much, Kim. Well, Ann Underdahl tells us about next week's pageant for the Miss Senior Golden Years USA. Contestant number 1 gives us a little info about herself.
I'm Ann Underdahl, contestant number 1 for the Miss Senior Golden Years pageant here in Pahrump. You can come to the pageant at Saddle West, June 18th. Doors open at 6 p.m. The pageant starts at 7 p.m. with a reception to follow. I've lived in Pahrump for about 7 years. My husband and I decided to retire here from the Las Vegas area. Actually, I had moved to Las Vegas about 2003, as had he from Southern California. I was working in a pawn shop. Most fun job I've ever had. He came in to buy an amplifier for his guitar, and our system tracked customers by their phone number. So he was going to put this amplifier on layaway, and every time I would turn the page, it dropped his phone number, and I had to ask him for it again. Well, by the 3rd time, he says, if you have to ask me for my phone number one more time, I'm going to have to ask you for yours. Well, we went for coffee later. The rest is history. Happily ever after.
You know what pageant is tomorrow night?
Yes, Miss Pahrump, right? So excited.
Miss Pahrump pageant. We will be airing that interview also on our Facebook and YouTube page.
Right.
But if you want to go, the doors open at 6. The pageant starts at 6:30 at the Saddle West. It's only $10 to get in, and it supports all these great Miss Pahrump contestants.
Lots of talented contestants.
It's so good. Let's see who's going to win.
All right, good luck, and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, a healthcare official is giving us his opinion about the current drought situation here in Southern Nevada. Stuart Hitchens says he watches the Water Authority and the urgent need for water resources very closely. He believes we will get past this.
Yeah, I moved here in 1998, started a civil engineering company here, so I have an engineering background, and I came from Portland, Oregon. And I've been watching our Southern Nevada Water Authority for 24 years, and I think we have the foremost water authority probably in the world, with their forward thinking. Even back in 1998, I've been around a lot of projects. I know they're well funded because every project I've ever worked on pays a lot of fees to them, but they've spent that money wisely, and they've invested in infrastructure, they've invested in creating plans, they've invested in getting more credits to the Colorado River. They have credits to water that's stored in aquifer in Arizona. They made investments in desalination in California in trade for some of their credits to the Colorado River. They've been so far ahead of this and anticipating this that we're just in way better shape than people think. And all they've done in conservation, you know, with all the growth that I've seen since 1998, we use less water out of Lake Mead now than we did in 1998 with all that growth. So there's a lot of positive. They've done a lot of good. You know, who knows how bad and how long this could go, and we could all go to you-know-where in a handbasket, but we'll be the last ones in that handbasket, I think, because of how well our Southern Nevada Water Authority has done in planning infrastructure and implementing and paying for and installing infrastructure.
Where do you think the lake's going to go from here?
Well, I have to apologize. I'm an eternal optimist, so I think every year we're going to get a big snow, and I think it's going to change. It's got to change, but we're good for several more years of drought like this with what they've already planned to put in place. So at some point, it's going to turn around, and I really believe in my heart of hearts, we're fine. Right. And when people say, why would they give more building permits and so on and so forth, look, every drop of water that comes out of your faucet at home goes back into our lake. I don't know any other place you could say that or do that, because you're getting water out of aquifers and rivers and those kind of things, but ours we get it out of the lake and we put it all back in the lake. So we've done so much to get ourselves in a position to deal with this. I know it's scary. People see that ring around the lake, and I know why people call in and complain on the news and say, why would they keep building? It's been planned. Oh, I think there's a lot of excitement, and there's real reason to be excited, right? I mean, you got to think back, and I brought this up during the panel discussion. We sometimes forget where we were in 2010, 11, 12, 13, and now you look out there, it's happening. It's got so much momentum. Everything we talked about for years about what Water Street could be is happening. I'm looking right across the street at a totally redone, you know, the past casino. We've got a hockey rink here. Lots of investment going on. I think the ball's rolling, and it's just not going to stop.
Well, we are going to speak to Josh Osborne from Great Computer Deals right now, who's going to tell us the best way to back up your computer and what devices to use.
Hi guys, Josh Osborne with Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial, viewer question edition. One viewer asked, what's the best way to back up my computer's data? Well, let's get right into it. There are 3 different ways to back up your computer. Number 1, you back up your files onto an external hard drive. That means that you buy a device that plugs into your computer and allows you to manually move your files onto it. Number 2, you back up your files onto the internet using a service like Backblaze. I know many people don't like the idea of putting their stuff online, but this service is automated and doesn't require you to remember to use it. Number 3, you use cloud storage. This means instead of storing your data on your computer's hard drive, use an online hard drive, so if anything were to happen, it wouldn't matter because none of your files were on your own computer to begin with. Hope that helps. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Now for today's Medical Minute with Dr. Leslie Denton, we're discussing you making the most out of your medical visit with your physician.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you've always imagined it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie Denton with Spring Mountain Medical, your hometown health and wellness provider. Today, I'm going to talk about making the most out of your visit with your doctor. Do you feel confused or uncertain about how to improve your health after a visit with your doctor? Do you feel discouraged by the pace of your physical improvement? If so, don't despair. Understanding the diagnosis and treatment you get from your doctor is essential to feeling better and living a happy life. So here are 3 tips to help you make the most of your next doctor visit. 1. Bring a written list of questions about your treatment or medications to your visit. 2. Ask. Don't be embarrassed if you don't understand something or need us to explain something again. And 3. Note your progress, anything that interests you as you go through treatment. Our providers are motivated by our knowledge of how to make you well and coach you to your best health. Make an appointment with us today to feel your best. I'm Dr. Denton, and this has been a Medical Minute brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's been kind of hot out there for those candidates during the primary, underneath the tarps over there by the Bob Roode for that early voting.
But it must be done, and we're taking a closer look at the weather and the temps after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios with an answer to the age-old rhetorical question. Yes, it is hot enough for me. Look at this Fernley and Fountain. They're all the way up in the mid-90s. Oh my gosh. Carson City, 88. That's the cool spot in the state at 88. Wow. Tonopah, you saw 90. 92 out in Goldfield. 99 out in Beatty, feeling pretty grady. 103 in Amargosa. And Vegas, the leader of the pack at 108 degrees for a high today. Oh my. Death Valley not even looking too different by comparison. 114. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, we've got 101 degrees. And that's our current temperature, entirely binary. 103 just a little bit earlier. Yes, we're feeling it. South-southwesterly winds to 13 miles per hour, making the umbrella blow around on my back deck. I don't like it. 5:25 a.m. The sun rose this morning. I like that. That was pretty good. Setting this evening at 8. Picked up another minute of daylight and a low tonight. Where are we heading to? 78 degrees. It's going to be nice all night. Great night to sleep out on the porch on a hammock, something like that. As we head into the weekend, what do we see? Bunch of triple digits. Look, 1, 2, 3 days of triple digits, and culminating on Saturday, Sunday with convected oven action built in. 24-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, it's going to be our Sunday, but check it out. It drops the temperatures down on Monday, Tuesday. About 10 degrees. We'll be in the low 90s. Get a little relief for a couple days. Winds returning to under 10 miles per hour and sunshine the rest of the week. Sounds like a pretty good thing to look forward to. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, thanks, John.
Thank you. Yes. We want to remind everybody once again about the Miss Pahrump pageant, which is Friday night at the Saddle West, and we, of course, will be there to see who is crowned and her court. And if you want to buy tickets, they're selling them at the door. The doors open at 6 at the Saddle West, right there in their event center, and the show starts at 6:30. Congratulations and good luck to all the girls.
All right, pageant wave.
Yeah. All right, if you'd like to find out any more things of anything that we announced on the news, you can go to our KPVM Facebook page in case you missed anything. And we will see you back here tomorrow. I'm Deanna.
I'm Unette.
Good night.
Good night.